Imagine being chained under the burning desert sun. Heavy stones placed on your chest to pressure you into giving up your faith, while the entire city watches. And you refuse. Not out of stubbornness, but because something in your heart was stronger than any pain they could cause. This is the story of a man who went from being owned by others to being called to prayer by the Prophet of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam himself. This is the story of Bilal ibn Rabah. More than 1,400 years ago, in the city of Makkah, a child was born into slavery. His name was Bilal. His mother, Hamama, was an enslaved woman of Abyssinian origin. From the very first day of his life, Bilal had no freedom, no rights, no voice. In the society of Makkah at that time, enslaved people were considered property. They had no protection under the law, and no one to speak for them. But even in those conditions, something inside Bilal remained unbroken. A dignity, a quiet strength that no chain could ever remove.
One day, a message began spreading through Makkah. A man named Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam was speaking about something the city had never heard before. One God, no idols, no masters over other human beings in the eyes of the Creator. Every soul equal, every person worthy of dignity. When Bilal heard these words, something moved deep inside his heart, because for the first time in his life, someone was saying that he mattered, that his soul had value, that no human being could truly own another. And so, Bilal accepted Islam, quietly, privately. But in a city where many people strongly opposed this new message, secrets rarely stayed hidden for long. When his enslaver, Umayyah ibn Khalaf, discovered that Bilal had accepted Islam, the response was severe. Under the scorching Makkah sun, Bilal was taken to the open desert. He was laid on the burning ground. Heavy stones were placed on his chest as pressure was placed on him to abandon his faith. The demand was simple: reject this faith, return to the old ways, say the words they wanted to hear, and all the pressure would stop. But Bilal did not break. Under a sun that burned without mercy, he repeated one word: Ahad, one, meaning Allah is one. Again and again, no matter the pressure, no matter the pain. Ahad, Ahad, Ahad.
Those who witnessed it could not understand. How could a man endure this much for a belief? But Bilal understood something they did not. Some things in life are worth more than comfort. Some truths are worth holding on to, even when holding on is the hardest thing you have ever done. News of Bilal's situation reached the companions of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and one man decided he could not remain silent. Abu Bakr as-Siddiq, one of the closest companions of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, went to Umayyah ibn Khalaf, and he purchased Bilal's freedom. The moment those chains were removed was not just a personal moment for Bilal. It was a statement that in this new community being built around faith, no soul would be left behind. No person would be valued less because of where they came from, or the color of their skin, or the family they were born into. Bilal walked away from that desert a free man, and he never looked back.
Years passed. The Muslim community grew stronger, and eventually, the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam established a masjid in Medina, a place of worship, a place of community, a place of peace. Now, a decision had to be made. How would people be called to prayer? Different ideas were discussed among the companions. And then, Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam made a choice that no one fully expected. He chose Bilal. The man who was once considered property was now chosen to give the first adhan in Islamic history.
to stand at the highest point and call the entire community to prayer. With a voice that had once repeated Ahad under impossible conditions, Bilal now called out across Medina, Allahu Akbar! Allahu Akbar! Allah is the greatest. And the community gathered.
And then came the day that changed everything once more. The peaceful return to Makkah. The city that had once tested Bilal so severely was now open. And Prophet Muhammad ﷺ did something deeply symbolic. He asked Bilal to climb to the top of the Kaaba itself and give the adhan from there. The man who had once been pressed to the ground now stood above the most sacred structure in the world, his voice echoing across the city. Allahu Akbar. The same city that had tried to silence him now heard his voice rise above everything. And many people who witnessed that moment wept, not out of sadness, but because they understood what they were seeing. This moment became a powerful symbol of dignity, faith, and mercy. This was what faith produces, a complete transformation of a life, a city, and a moment in history. Bilal ibn Rabah lived the rest of his life as a man of deep faith, humility, and service. He is remembered not for worldly power, not for wealth, but for one word, spoken under impossible conditions: Ahad. And today, more than 1,400 years later, every time the adhan is called, anywhere in the world, the echo of Bilal's voice lives on. In every masjid, in every city, in every country. His story reminds us that your beginning does not define your ending. That faith, patience, and dignity can carry you further than any worldly advantage ever could. And perhaps that is the most powerful reminder for all of us today. No matter what situation you are facing right now, no matter what pressure is on your chest, hold on. Because Allah does not forget those who remain faithful.
If this story moved your heart, please like this video and subscribe to Deen Tube so more people can discover the powerful stories of Islamic history. Share this with others who may appreciate this story. And if you want us to continue with more stories of the Sahaba, let us know in the comments below. Until next time, peace be upon you all.